So how do you launch Meta ads for your SaaS and actually get results? I often speak to founders who have not raised venture funding or are thinking that they nearly don't have enough money to run paid go-to-market strategy. And just in this video, I want to show you what is possible to achieve with just $100 a day in ad spend in a couple of weeks when you know what you're doing. And also I'll share a bunch of insights for you to launch the campaign with a similar budget to this one and how you can make the most out of it. So just recently I had a founder join my program doing 30K MRR, and he had traction from organic search, but now wanted to get to the next level by installing paid acquisition mechanisms. A very common scenario which I see with founders who are between like 10 and 60K in MRR. They scale there through events, outbound efforts, and some like SEO, but then they lack this repeatable customer acquisition system for them to reach like the next couple million in annual recurring revenue. And that's usually when the paid ads come into place. The reason I like working with founders who are above 10K MRR is they often have validated demand and working systems, yet not using huge leverage they got right in front of them. Yes, I got many case studies with people who are 0 to 10K MRR founders, but understandably, proportion of 10 to 60K MRR guys nailing it from first attempt is just higher. So Bilal, one of my clients, turned 3.1K in ad spend into 6.3K MRR within his first month inside my advisory program. And with his conservative 3-month LTV, oftentimes it's longer, that means 3.1K is gonna lead to 18.9K in cash collected over a couple months time frame. This means a nice 6x return on his ad spend. And now in the next few minutes, I'll break down how exactly we launched this one campaign. Let me break down exact steps you can follow so you can copy them for yourself. Double check your pixel, and this is the step 0. You got to be optimizing for the right thing. Meta is very smart finding people you need, but you got to ask for the right people to make this really work. For most of founders, it would be the standard schedule event if you are running the campaign towards call booking. And in case you're selling lower ticket, there are 2 routes: optimizing for signups and optimizing for sales. If you can get 50 sales events in a 2-week time frame, you can go for sales, because then Meta will be searching for such people who have a tendency to click on an ad and go buy something. Why don't you just run every campaign optimizing for sales conversion? Because for many business models, you are just either not able to really feed data into the pixel, or you're not able to get enough events in a 2-week window, because of which you should be going for other types of optimization. So again, if you can get 50 sales events in a 2-week time frame, go for sales. It will be then finding people who have historically bought something from ads. Otherwise, you go for signups. Then you pay 2 freelancers $20 each to make sure your test events and pixel is tracking everything properly, because you much rather triple check this than repeat my mistake of neglecting this step and burning multiple dollar signs, I'll leave it like that, in one of the campaigns as a result of this. So look, I've been doing this for years, and even I don't pretend to be like extremely technically savvy to make sure that every single account I get into, I get all the technical pieces right. That's why even if you've been coding your entire life, and many of you watching this have, it is worth $40 paid to 2 freelancers to double check what you set up in terms of pixel, so that you don't burn 5, 10, or 20 grand optimizing or not tracking the thing wrong. Now, first step is buyer situations. Let me break this down. Once your pixel is there, the next step we implement after the recent algorithm update is listing all the buyer situations. The way to find real winners and achieve this 3x, 6x, and 10x ROAS is by getting in front of your ideal buyers the way your competitors are not. So how do you do that? You get the prospects resonate with your message by showing them how well you understand their situation. And that's why you want to list more of them, so that you can find the angles which are currently being unused by some of your competition. Say your SaaS is helping funded startups manage VC relations and fundraising. Your buyer situations would look like this: A, somebody who just raised Series A. Then the next one, somebody who is fighting the disagreement within their board while trying to raise Series B. The third one would be somebody who's fed up with monthly investor reporting, and so on. And you do 15 to 25 of this for your campaign. Then you turn these buyer situations into your ads. Recently, I shared a more detailed guide on how to turn this into ad angles inside my Telegram group, so you can check out this one. After you've done that, the second step is static and organically validated ads, because you need the ads. Just before Bilal was about to launch his ads, I asked, by the way, are there any content assets that historically worked well for you? To which he replied, oh yeah, we've done this collaboration with an influencer for a video that cost us almost nothing and brought us hundreds of customers. I was like, well. Now you can guess what's one of the most profitable ads for us in this one campaign. Yes, one of the top performance are 2 paid influencer collabs that brought us which brought Bilal great results organically in the past. So even if you're starting ads from scratch, you often aren't. Do look at your best money-making posts over the past 12 months, could be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, elsewhere, and see what angle or asset can work well as an ad or be repurposed into one. Aside from a few organic winners, we've done 20 additional static ads. And what I wanted to share here is basically looking at the data, the 2 videos which he has had for like years and which he forgot about years ago because they brought him signups over a year earlier, but then he never looked back at them. Well, now they're basically bringing him signups every day from paid ads. Step 3 is you test 2 different targeting options. So Meta algorithm is so smart that it often provides the best results when you give it more freedom on the targeting side. And this is, by the way, very different to LinkedIn ads, because there, when you give a lot of freedom to the algorithm, you just fast track burning all your money, and I've gone through that. I typically recommend doing 2 different ad sets, one being open targeting, giving Meta more control, and the other one being an interest tag, where you give Meta a few starting points for your campaign. After a few weeks, you compare which ad set brought you better results and leverage it to lower your CAC in your future campaigns. So if interest tag worked better for you, then you use the same interest tag in your next ones. Now, step 4, you want to get your ad copy ready. So you don't do any descriptions, just best practice. My preference is 3 different headlines and 3 body copies. And by the way, I provide all of this and help you create yours inside my program. So I make it sure that you get this part right, because I would say you're creative. And apart from the choice of the funnel, of course, your offer and your creative drive 90% of results in your campaigns. So that's quite how important the ad is. Direct off, and look, this is just one of the proven formats that has been working historically for me and my clients for years. Direct offer, pain, solution, pain explained, solution explained, social proof, and CTA. And you can use this one to create these 3 different body copies. And step number 5, let her rip, my favorite one, because you won't believe how many times I saw people mess things up having a winning formula just sitting in front of them. Because I remember a couple of stories when a founder I'd be just, they come to me, show me their ads, which look legit, their ad copy looks legit, pixel, set up, everything is fine. And then I start working with them. And then it turns out they just every 2 and every 4 days keep making changes to their campaigns and tweak a thing here. Then they see some CTR drop, they adjust this. Don't. Just let her rip. So you've listed 15 buyer situations, done 2 targeting options, triple checked your pixel is tracking everything properly, you picked the right funnel, and you used your validated organic assets for some of the creatives. And your ad copy clearly explains your offer to an in-market buyer. Now, how do you fail having such a winning setup? You switch off your ads too soon, or you keep making changes to your campaigns every day. And that's why I'm still currently in a couple of masterminds and keep joining new ones, because I understand how important it is to be confident in what you're doing, because otherwise you never let the algorithm spend enough money and learn to an extent that it starts bringing you the right high intent people. Because I believe that one of my favorite methodologies, and also to my perspective, one of the ways to scale B2B software startups with ads, is selling to high intent buyers who are already looking to solve a problem that you solve and are already looking for software similar to yours. It's just so much easier to scale your startup when you get on meetings with people and they're like, oh, that's exactly what we've been looking for. Guess why you may not be hearing this as often? Because you don't know how to get in front of them. And that's how the purpose of this channel is, to help you get this part solved. Also, feel free to chat with me if you want to fast track that. So I've seen founders kill winning campaigns because of this countless times, and Meta doesn't think in days, it thinks in weeks. So it's normal for a single day or 3-day performance to fluctuate. It rotates audiences, and when you zoom out on a week's perspective, oftentimes that's when it will always make sense. That's why with my clients, I typically check in on results every 7 days. Funny that even for that campaign, which turned out to deliver a 6x return, Bilal wanted to keep changing some ads, targeting other settings almost 5 times after launch. And thankfully, I asked him to stop constantly tweaking it, and in just a few weeks, we reaped the benefits. Now, if you want some help and you want me to help you install the same Meta ad system that 150 of my clients have used to profitably scale Meta ads and book over 5,000 product demos by now, allowing 14 of them to scale beyond 1 million in ARR exclusively with the system, then you can go to saasgame.com and apply to work with me there. Appreciate you watching this video, and talk soon.